In this short video, I will talk about how to use this template that I have created to make calculations for various investment criteria. The cells that have a green background are your inputs, and you definitely don't want to touch anything else. Now, let's enter our cash flows. Let's say we make an investment of $15,000. Then we make $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, and $8,000. Later on, this is a project with a 4-year life, and payback cutoff period is, let's say, 1.5 years. And our cost of capital is 12%. Now, you directly read the net present value, profitability index, IRR, and the modified internal rate of return. Here, the modified internal rate of return, as your book says, can be calculated in many ways. The way I calculate it, I take all the future cash flows, carry them using the cost of capital to the end of the project, then calculate an internal rate of return for a project that makes a $15,000 investment now and gets all the cash flows at the end of year 4 on a cost of capital adjusted basis. Now, if you want to calculate payback period, you have to enter the year in which you actually get payback. If you look at the running cash flow in year 3, we will be paid. So payback period is 2.571. For discounted payback, we need to find the year in which we get a positive discounted cash flow. That's year 4. The red traffic lights mean, according to the criteria, you should not accept this project. Payback cutoff period is 1.5. Since it pays back in 2.57 years, we don't accept it. If it was 3 years, that was going to be a green light. Similarly, positive NPV tells me to accept it. Profitability index greater than 1 accepts the project. IRR greater than cost of capital accepts the project. Similarly, modified internal rate of return greater than cost of capital accepts the project. If we had a 15%, similarly, let's do 30%. On the payback period, discounted payback period, I now need to be careful. This actually never goes positive. You don't have to enter anything there. Okay. But now all the indicators are red light. So if cost of capital is 30%, none of these criteria will give you an acceptance rate. Sometimes cash flows are not conventional in the sense that there is an initial investment, then you have positive or zero cash flows. Let's say one of these cash flows was negative. And let's make cost of capital a reasonable number, or 5%. IRR and modified internal rate of return definitely will be different. But this IRR doesn't mean anything, because the equation that defines IRR will have 2 solutions. This one is the one Excel comes up with. In fact, if you use the different starting value, you may get something else. Well, in this case I didn't, but it's the modified internal rate of return that matters in that case. And make sure that when you're using this template, make these all 0 first, then enter your numbers. And you can use this template to make any calculations you want. And the problem solution videos themselves goes through some of the details of individual criteria calculations for you to understand how to do them in Excel yourself. But for quick and dirty numbers you need, I would always recommend you to use this template.